Today we have with us Nakia Cooper from the U.S. Census Bureau. Nakia wears many hats. She's the media coordinator for the 12-state Denver region of the United States Department of Commerce Census Bureau, president of the Houston Association of Black Journalists, and an adjunct online journalism professor at Texas Southern University. She's also a multi-award-winning journalist, and she comes here from Denver. This is Nakia.
Okay, again, my name is Nakia Cooper, and I'm the media coordinator for the Denver-Dallas region. I am from Houston, Texas. I'm very happy to be here today because our weather is not as beautiful as this. We can't dress up in our cute boots, but thank you so much for having me. And every time, I think it's like my third trip to North Dakota, and each time it's been I just love it to death. Just love it. You guys are the nicest people, and it's so nice and clean out here. Now, this presentation is a little bit twofold. I'm here to explain a little bit more about the national media campaign that we have going on. So that's the first part. That's the don't shoot the messenger kind of campaign that we have. And we have a very robust campaign, and it is absolutely amazing. And you're not going to want to shoot me because it's great. We have Team Y&R, who is the media buyer, third-party media buyer. They have really covered the landscape of making sure that we hit everyone. And then the second part of this presentation is going to be a little bit more along the lines of what you can do to help get the message out even more. So what is our goal for the 2020 census? You've heard this over and over again, to count everyone once, only once, and in the right place. And media, along with the partnership teams and everything that you all do out in the community, is key to our success. So, what's the environment in 2020? Let's tackle everything that's the obvious and a couple of elephants in the room, right? This is one of the first, we don't like to say the first online census, but this is the first one that it's really, like, there's a heavy focus online, and online is going to be key, as Ms. Vicki McIntyre told you about March 12th and self-response. We're going to speak a little bit about the expanding role of digital media. Times have changed. So the message is the same, right? But the way we get the message out is changing a little bit. Continued fragmentation of media channels and content. And 2020 will be a crowded media landscape. So we have the census going on, but guess what? It's election time, right? And the Olympics, and there's a lot going on. So while we're getting our message out, so many other messages are coming in, and we have to be, let's say, competitive and not lost in the shuffle. Declining overall response rates in public and private sectors, and the declining trust in government overall. We are here to combat that and let everyone know that, and I think everyone's been doing an amazing job of letting them know the census is for you. The census is something. This is a voice. This is your voice, and every 10 years you get a chance to speak loudly. So how did we break up the media campaign? Or how did our national headquarters, how did we break this up? And this is nationwide. Phases. Everything about the census is in timelines, as y'all have been seeing, right? Phase 1 is the awareness phase. January 14th through March 12th, we're going to be bringing attention to the fact that the 2020 census is approaching and educating the public. So that's what we're in right now. January 14th is when we kicked off this media campaign. And like we said, that was more of the multicultural. So if you haven't seen a lot of ads in your area yet, you will. And I know where I am in Houston, Texas, and I don't know if y'all watch like BT and Martin Lawrence's show. I see an ad every commercial break almost, or it seems like it, right? They're hitting us. The multicultural part of the campaign is going on now. The diverse mass, which is more along the lines of where a lot of us fall in, the diverse mass is going to come out in the second week of February. Phase 2 is motivation phase, March 13th through May 12th. And that's when we're going to be driving participation and action, more action to encourage the 2020 census completes. Phase 3 is the reminder phase, as Ms. Vicki talked about, May 13th to June 28th. remind of deadlines to drive non-responders to complete. And once again, like we said, we don't want to we want to get the heavy focus out early because we don't want the procrastinators waiting and saying, oh yeah, I'll get to it on, July 12th, right? We want you to go hard now. We don't want you to wait until July 30th instead of the 31st. And then the phase 4 is the thank you. And that's when we'll be thanking everyone, including you all, for all of the hard work that you did and everybody across the nation. Informing the 2020 census is now complete and educate where the information can be found. So how did Team YNR, how did the census decide? This is the part about I'm just the messenger, right, in the cute boots. But this is the part where we talk about how was it decided who got those media placement ads. The 2020 Census Paid Media RFP was publicly announced in April 2019 with Media Vendor Days. Okay, April 3rd in New York City, there was a media vendor. There was an event. It was live streamed, and more than 2,000 people, or almost 3,000 people, viewed it on YouTube. And at that time, a portal was opened in which interested media outlets could apply for that money. They could apply for ad consideration. And it depended upon various factors: your reach, your audience, and if you even filled out your forms right and on time and hit the deadline of who was selected for those processes. And all is not lost. We'll talk about this at the end. For those who were not selected, there's still an opportunity perhaps for you to get in that chain. Okay, there were over 6,750 proposals submitted, and then they decided who to go with. If you look at a media buys overview, and you can compare what happened or the focus in 2010 versus 2020, you'll see where a lot went. In 2010, television, they spent $81.5 million for TV ads, national and local. In 2020, that's up to $97.8 million. Radio increased from 24.8 to 25.8. Newspaper, look at this, 26 million down to 15.3. But if you skip down, you'll see why. In 2010, digital, 13.8 million. In 2020, digital, 73 million. A lot of focus has now been placed on digital media. That is where we hit people. I came up here and I brought my phone. Everywhere you go, you take your phone. Digital media, including Facebook, right? Instagram. Even the newspapers who have an online presence. So it's not like the newspapers were cut out. Like, let's say there's still ad placements there, but more may be placed on their digital, place the ads on your digital sites, okay? That's a little bit of an overview of how the money was distributed. What were some of the factors when deciding? We keep talking about hard to count communities, the audiences that they are targeting. Renters, female-headed households, younger head of households, households with young children, households with children, lower income, lower education, recent movers, households, and multi-unit housing. In addition to racial and ethnic groups and linguistic audiences, Team Y&R prioritized audiences which included factors that have been determined to place households at greater risk of non-response. So you want to go where you think you're needed. Another factor, they broke it up into multicultural portfolio. American Indian and Alaska Native. It's a lot that's going to affect you right here. Asian, African American, Hispanic, Native Hawaiian, Pacific Islander, Puerto Rico, Middle Eastern, North African, and then our general portfolios, faith-based. Look at that, that's right at the top. Highly mobile, renters, households with young children, LGBTQ, military and veterans, and so forth and so forth. So you see a breakdown of how they decided to factor this in. So this is all, what any ad buying agency is going to do. So now we talk about the national and local coverage. In addition to national coverage, there will be local coverage in 149 out of the 210 DMAs in the United States. Diverse mass, coming up in the second week of February, right? National TV media plan covers 46 vendors, including an estimated over 16,000 campaign spots. National radio will deliver over 3.3 billion impressions. You will not be able to turn on your radio, drive in your car without hearing a census ad. And if it's not from your local person, it could be from syndicated radio, right? Local TV and radio will be present in 71 out of the 210 in the country, in addition to the national media that will be running. Newspapers, partnering with the major national newspapers like New York Times, Washington Post, USA Today during the key motivation campaign window. 60% of the diverse mass digital plan, once again, will be administered via programmatic digital audience targeting, driving over 1.9 billion impressions to the audience, adults 18 plus. Vendors and program content include all genres and audiences, young, old, male, female, all income levels, etc. The commercials are out. We'll show you some of those. I have a link to some of those, and you'll see exactly. I'm very proud of the work that the message that I'm helping to spread, because there is a message for everyone. Look at the audience media plan for AIAN. The 2020 census will be the first time the census will be doing a remote Alaska paid media buy. For the first time, the census will be sending posters to over 500 tribes and Alaskan villages through paid media. The newspaper buy includes 50 vendors with over 566 ad placements, and the radio buy will have over 6,000 radio ads during the campaign. Just some highlights for Hispanic. National TV plan includes 14 vendors, average 582 commercials per week. TV programming will be delivered through broadcast and cable networks across news, novellas, entertainment, and sports. The national radio plan reaches the Hispanic audience through the largest national radio networks across our days, parts of news, music, entertainment. So it's just, if you break it down, it's just everywhere, everywhere. Black African American. It's a little bit of what I just talked about. I've seen the ads on BET, TV One, during Martin and during other things and different award shows. The plan will air on 14 national TV networks and deliver an estimated 9,000 TV spots. Chinese. Purchasing a total of 198 media outlets in 17 markets, including print publications, in-language websites, popular TV and radio stations, ranging from primetime programming to evening news. Chinese plan includes 50 vendors, more than 25,000 spots throughout the phases. So they really did a lot of data collection, seeing where, what message was needed, where, and how frequent. Emerging audiences: Arabic, Brazilian, Portuguese, Polish, Russian. Campaign will reach about 67% of the Russian audience population with local markets. That's a lot of digging to find out where everyone is needed. And so, again, with all of the help that you all are doing, for people who were not or who missed out on that opportunity to apply for media ad consideration, to be part of that campaign, is complete. However, in the event additional funds become available, they are going to revisit proposals that have been submitted through the vendor portal. So what we are telling you to do, put that email address down, 2020@wmglobal.com. Go in, if you know a newspaper or local radio station, somebody, tell them to apply. Because once they start measuring the success or measuring what is needed, they are going to go right back to the community. And a lot of your local stations and a lot of your local vendors have been chosen, and that list is on 2020census.gov. You can go on there and find it. It's right there. It's listed for everyone. There are no secrets. So that's the part that we can't control, or I can't control. Now I can tell you, what can you control? Take advantage of our tools. So the national campaign is already making sure that they get the word out to the masses, right? We still have some things that we can do through our social media channels, through our community partners, at the universities, everywhere we go. What can we do? We have a lot of things right here for you on 2020census.gov that lets you take the power in your own hands. What do we have? We have outreach materials. This is all on 2020census.gov, and you can go to the partners page. You'll find outreach materials. You'll see the recruitment short code that we talked about earlier. And for jobs, text ND jobs to 313131. And guess what? Something will pop up for you so you can go on there and apply. We have embeddable widgets, census commercials, and drop-in articles. If someone has a request for an article and say, hey, we need to have an article placed on our news, on our newsletter for the college, do you have something for us? You reach out to your local media specialist, and that person is Mark Dickerson here in North Dakota. Or you can contact me or any member of the media team, and we will get you to the appropriate person. We jump in, we'll tell you, we can send you anything that you need. We have tribal outreach materials on the site, Counting Young Children materials, language resources, YouTube videos, everything you wanted, we got it. Just to show you a little bit, we talked about the recruitment short code. So that's a snapshot. What I did is I went onto my phone. I text ND jobs to 313131, and that's what popped up, and it let me know I can click here to apply. The flyer popped up, and you can apply for jobs. You can send that out to everyone. Here's just a snapshot page of the tribal resources, materials for tribal governments, language support, infographics and visuals. There's anything that you can think of that you need, we have it for you. The embeddable widgets. So how did I know we were 57 days away from April 1st? Is because of that countdown clock. So I went on this morning to update it. The Census Day countdown clock is right there. And if you look on the right side at the bottom, it says copy and paste to embed. That is something that you can get on your own. We don't have to send you the embeddable widget, the embed code. And you can take that code and put it on whatever page that you have. If it's the university, if it's your community page, if you're a company, a business owner, and you put it on your website, you go into the HTML side of your coding, find the proper spot, pop that in, go back to the visual side, and it will do it. Make it live, and you have that countdown clock right there that's telling you how long it is before action time, right? It's a little snapshot of our Counting Young Children's Partners page. Downloadable forms that you have there. And I only just snapshot just the first part, right? There's a laundry list of tools that you can use. Classroom resources, any teachers in the room, there are fun activities, there are, coloring books, all of these things that you can find, including a census song for the kids. All of that can be found right here on our partners pages. And so when you're uploading these materials, we want you to use them wisely, smartly, the right time, and do what you need to do to help us get the word out. The way you promote the census is hashtags. Don't forget to use our hashtags. We want to trend on April 1st. We actually want to trend on March 12th, right? That would be amazing. But we want the 2020 census to trend all the way. That hashtag is used on the social, and most people, you call it the pound sign, right? As a way to promote what we're doing. A hashtag is a word or phrase preceded by the pound sign. So you can use the following hashtags. hashtag 2020 census, hashtag census, America Counts, Shape Your Future, Censo 2020. And the other one, I cannot pronounce that if anyone speaks Spanish in the room. There you go for the final one. And follow the U.S. Census Bureau at U.S. Census Bureau on all of our social media channels. You're not going to get the word out if you use the wrong @ or the wrong hashtag. Okay? And then as a practice for me, anytime I upload something, I always just push that hashtag just to see what's pulling in. You know, like if you all wanted to do a fun exercise, you can all pull out your phones, take a selfie, you know, take a picture, say where you are today, you know, hashtag the census workshop, hashtag 2020 census, and let's see what we get here. You can do that on the break. You could do it now. You could do it whenever you want to. And so what you can't see very well, but this is something I'm going to make sure that we send out, we have a social media calendar. The media team put together our own social media calendar so that you can find easily. We don't want you don't have to reinvent the wheel. We've already done the hard work for you. Like right now, what today started what? What is now going on right now that's not census related, but we can make it census related? What month is this? Black History Month. You can go on here and we have something, and it's so small because I was doing a snapshot. We have some things for Black History Month, and we related it to the census. And even when I was up early this morning to make sure I got the right widget for the embed clock, I already saw that Census put up something for Black History Month as well already. You can take the asset. When we have the suggested text, we can't tell you what to say. We have suggested text for you to use with the proper hashtags and the @ right? And then we have a link to the material that you can use. So it'll be a link to, you can use that with this video, or it's a link that'll take you to the downloadable flyer. And so all of our links are right there. It's leading you to our resources page, which is on 2020census.gov. Yes, ma'am. Guess what? And this is just a continuation of that page, the social media calendar. And guess what? I'm done with that part. Thank you. I got my wrap-up sign just in time. Thank you so much.